Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Chapter 21. Fortunately, after coming back last time, Su Ming put a few sets of clothes in his independent space, otherwise it would be bad to wear a coat on the street. Back home, Su Ming logged into the Union Mall, and the bets from the three schools had already been wagered. It was more than Su Ming expected. There were 13 million. Thousands of scholarships. Damn, it's a big loss. They have millions of scholarships for AC level, why do I only have hundreds of thousands? Thinking of this, Su Ming couldn't help but greet the principal's ancestors in his heart, but things have passed for so long, and he has retreated for more than 20 days, the college entrance examination has long been over, and the school is on holiday. Zuniing set. Each weapon is inlaid with the crystal nucleus of the third-order alien beast, the dark snake, with the additional effect of seclusion and speed. Soon, Su Ming found a set of war equipment, the price of which was in the early tens of millions. Although it was not equipped with weapons, the attached effects were still very good. There are two effects in the sea-level war equipment set, which is already very valuable up. Especially these two effects are really suitable for survival in the wild. Whether it is seclusion or speed, they all increase the survival rate. And what makes Su Ming most excited is that in addition to the crystal nucleus of the third-order dark snake, the armor of this set of weapons is also inlaid with a crystal nucleus of the fifth-order dark snake to assemble the whole set of weapons. Although it is only a C-level weapon set, even if you encounter a 6th-level strange beast, you can still make the other party unaware. I bought it, it's not bad anyway, you can't be stingy with life-saving things. With a wave of his hand, he took this set of weapons into his pocket, and then browsed some other products. Although the hope is slim, you still have to pay attention. What if you encounter something with space attributes? Even the material may not be. 2 days later, the weapon set had been received, and Su Ming also packed his things and was ready to go to Shanghai. Hello, sir, please open your palm, and I will scan your chip. At the exit of Modu bus station, the handsome waiter said with a signature smile. Because of the strange beasts, the space for human activities has been compressed a lot, and the remaining big cities have become the main gathering places. For the convenience of management, anyone who arrives in a city will make a record. How do you know I'm a superhuman? Hearing this, Su Ming asked in surprise. Some people are neither supernatural beings nor cultivators, and their identity verification is a certificate, not a chip. Because you smell like a strange beast. Although it's faint, you must have been in contact with a strange beast. Except for those with supernatural abilities, I don't believe that ordinary people will come into contact with strange beasts. The customer service said with a smile, and pointed to her nose. It seems that this is her ability. It is a strengthening ability, but it is not suitable for fighting. That's it. Su Ming responded simply, without saying anything. Perhaps the most suitable life for her is to awaken such a supernatural power and engage in such a job. There is a special car to see you off at Shanghai University. You are so young and come to Shanghai at this time. You must be a specially recruited student, right? After recording Su Ming's information, the customer service pointed in the direction and said. Su Ming didn't say much, and left after saying thank you. A specially recruited student. I don't know what his ability is. A level. A second-level ability user. 18 years old. Looking at the back of Su Ming going away, the customer service couldn't help being stunned. With such conditions and strength, I'm afraid that in a few years, he will be on the league leaderboard. When I came to the side, I saw the special car of Shanghai University, and when I got up, I found that there were already people in the car. 3 men and 2 women, everyone was sitting scattered, and it seemed that they all came from various cities. To be able to be specially recruited, it is either a B-level ability or a powerful C-level ability. If these two conditions are not met, other C-level ability holders can only pass the alliance evaluation, and then they will be awarded according to the ability. University standards are assigned. In other words, a D-level ability can guarantee that you will have a university with abilities, but which university you can go to depends on your fate. After getting into the car, Su Ming also found a corner and sat down. No one was familiar with them, and no one spoke. Although it is said that everyone is from the same university, in essence, everyone is a competitor. The resources distributed by the school are so small, and competition is inevitable. For the arrival of Su Ming, the others just opened their eyes and looked at it, and then closed their eyes to meditate. The time before the official start of school is the time for freshmen to work hard to improve. The purpose is to welcome the upcoming freshman competition. For freshmen, this is the first and most ambitious resource allocation after enrollment. Not to mention various rewards, an opportunity to practice mimicry is something that no one wants. Let it go. Su Ming also entered a state of meditation. When the space was opened, the spherical space with a radius of 6 meters was instantly taken over by him, and all the free alien elements gathered towards him. This made the other 5 people feel uncomfortable. Why are there so many aliens suddenly? They opened their eyes with some doubts, and looked at their respective positions. Everyone was sitting relatively scattered, and logically speaking, the meeting should not be affected by it. Is it because of him? After seeing each other's suspicious eyes, they almost knew in their hearts that it wasn't the reason for them. After all, they had been in the car for a while, and nothing like this happened. Involuntarily, they set their sights on Su Ming. When this guy got hooked, there would be fewer outsiders. If not looking for him, who would he look for? Could it be that his ability is A-level? Isn't the efficiency of plundering aliens too terrifying? A boy said softly. Facing the situation where a foreigner was snatched away by one person, it was a little hard to accept. It shouldn't be A-level. My ability is B-level. Even if it's not as good as A-level, it won't be much worse. But I still can't grab aliens in front of him. It should be some kind of special ability. Another boy said that when he told about the strength of his power, he took a special look at the girl behind him, and he seemed to have a good impression of her. But it's okay. When they heard the B-level ability, the 2 girls didn't react in any way. On the contrary, the boy who spoke before was a little excited and looked like he was hugging his thigh. Hey, there are quite a few people who came to report today. 6 of them came at once. At this time, another person got on the bus, and he was not a student by his attire. Okay guys, wake up and listen to me. My surname is Zhang, and I am your reception teacher. Before the official start of school, I will be in charge of your cultivation and life at school. There is a book under your desks and chairs. The handbook is the rules and regulations you must abide by in school. Memorize them and write them down clearly, and you will be punished if you violate them. Teacher Zhang looked at Su Ming and others and said, the words were humorous, which made people feel friendly. Okay, all seated, we are ready to go to school. Chapter 22. Modu University, one of the first 4 supernatural universities established in Wa Kingdom, has a unique mimicry cultivation that makes people flock to it in the world. Although it is a holiday now, there are still many people in the school. In the era of rampant alien beasts, strength is the only means of survival, and no one will be lazy in cultivation. This is your school certificate. It contains your credit records and basic information, including the quota of materials you claim. It must not be lost. It is very troublesome to reissue. Although the campus network is connected, it is necessary to make a badges require a lot of work. After the chip comparison, Mr. Zhang gave something similar to the school badge to Su Ming and others, and told them not to lose it. In school, if you want to receive the materials assigned to you, this badge is the only voucher, and credits are the common currency in the school. They are all a group of students, and it is obviously unrealistic to ask them to make a surprise transaction with the alien crystal core. Regardless of their respective strengths, there is no standardized regulation on the circulation value between different crystal cores. Okay, I'll go to the site to see if there are any students coming, so I won't take you to familiarize yourself with the campus. I kindly remind you that those who are still staying in the school now don't care about those from the previous class, but you this year's freshmen are dishonest, so don't be careless. Teacher Zhang left a deep smile, and then left without looking back. It seems that the rumors are true. The special admissions students of the 4 famous schools will fight all the time before the school officially starts. Just when Su Ming was puzzled, a chubby boy said with an embarrassed face. Fight. What's the situation? Share with us what you know. Hearing this, the boy with the B-level ability asked aloud, although he had a certain understanding of Shanghai University before coming, but there is no record of this kind of thing. Of course it's no problem. It just so happens that there are quite a few people in our group. If we join forces, we won't be bullied. My name is Zhao Wanyi, a first-level spiritual supernatural being, and I come from Zhongling. The little fat man pushed his glasses and began to introduce himself. Everyone also knew what he meant. Although it was not clear what the situation of the special admissions fight he was talking about was, it would not be a problem if they joined forces. Bai Hao, Nanjong City, a first-level lightning-type supernatural power. Zheng Yishan, from Su City, a first-level assistant supernatural power. The other two boys also introduced themselves. The B-level ability is Bai Hao. Among the elements, he has the thunder attribute and has a lot of powerful attack power. Although the other is a C-level ability, it is in the auxiliary direction, and it is also a rare ability direction. Chu Yu, this is my younger sister, Chu Shui, who is from Hangzhou and is a first-level water-type supernatural being. A girl said that when she got in the car, Su Ming felt that the two were somewhat similar, and they were indeed sisters. Su Ming, a second-order special ability user, comes from Star City. As soon as Su Ming said this, everyone's eyes focused on him. It was a great thing to meet a second-level supernatural person among his peers. But thinking about the situation where this guy plundered aliens before, his second rank is not unacceptable. There is actually a tier 2 boss, and it will be much easier for us to go in now. It is convenient to ask, is your ability offensive? Fatty Zhao Wanyi couldn't help being pleasantly surprised, and then hurriedly asked. Su Ming hesitated for a moment, then nodded. How could his spatial ability be said to be aggressive? That is the destructive power that even a 6th-level supernatural being can injure. Then I'm at ease. After I go in, boss, you have to protect me. Although my ability is also B-level, it is mind control, and it is easy to suffer in a fight. That's no problem. I'm a lightning-type supernatural being here. Are you afraid that you won't have any attack power? Tell me what's going on. Bai Hao said with some displeasure that he was also the proud son of heaven in Nanjong, but Su Mei stole the limelight when he came up. Seeing that everyone's attention was on others, he felt somewhat unhappy, especially when he treated Chu Yu. I have a little idea. You should all know that there are associations in the university. Unlike the associations in ordinary universities, the associations in the supernatural university are more like student forces. When doing tasks and competing for resources, associations can play a huge role. Generally speaking, the associations in the university will not be inherited, that is to say, the associations of each session are organized by themselves, and the seniors and sisters of the previous session cannot intervene. People who come to the school before the official start of school are all special recruits, that is to say, they are better than those who come after the official registration in one aspect. If you want to form a strong community, special recruits are undoubtedly the best choice. Quote. But here comes the problem. Everyone in their own city is a genius among geniuses. Who wants to be inferior to others? Not to mention forming an association by yourself. I think I hate joining an association, and those who wholeheartedly want to form an association. Naturally, he wants you to join his club, and if he disagrees, he will do it. The little fat man explained that after knowing the situation, everyone including Su Ming frowned. During the period before the official start of school, everyone is preparing for the freshman contest. Who wants to waste time fighting with others? Although combat experience is also a kind of strength, compared to improving the realm of supernatural powers, combat experience has much less effect on them at this stage. This is a trouble. If you can run away, the monks can't run away from the temple. Even if you can avoid it once or twice, they will eventually find you. Bai Hao said that when he came to the university, he naturally wanted to use the facilities in the university to improve himself. If he was in the dormitory all day, he might as well not come. So when you say join forces, you mean that we will face the threat of those associations together? Su Ming looked at the little fat man and asked. The latter nodded repeatedly. It's okay to help each other, but let's say it first. Don't drag me back. I will help you when I can help you. If I can't help you, don't blame me. Bai Hao opened his mouth and said, with his B-level lightning ability, he thought that there were not many people who could block it. Even if the school is full of geniuses and can't beat others, self-protection is still no problem. But Chu Yu seemed very satisfied with the little fat man's proposal, so he couldn't refuse it directly. It's natural. Everyone is only at the first or second level now, and there are too many situations where there is insufficient energy. If you understand, let's add a contact method first. Xiaopong took out his badge and said, "This thing has many functions, it has a stronger communication effect than a mobile phone, and it can access satellite channels." Su Ming didn't say much, just shook his head in his heart. This time the school would have a fight, which was not what he wanted. Chapter 23. Although he is very disgusted with fighting when he comes to school, it doesn't mean that Su Ming is afraid of fighting, it's just that he doesn't want to go too far when he is a newcomer. And he is confident that even if it is a special enrollment, there must be very few people who have reached the second level. Even if there are really second level superpowers, they can pose a threat to him in battle, absolutely none. That's right, in the battle at the same stage, he has such confidence, which is the confidence given to him by the space ability. A group of people walked into the school gate, relying on their spiritual perception. Su Ming was able to notice that many eyes were sweeping over him and the others. It seems that in the University of Supernatural Abilities, the importance of associations is very strong. They all came to the school gate and squatted guard. Is this to prevent other clubs from attacking first? Boss Su Ming, have you noticed it? The people in this class are too crazy, this is the school gate. Zhao Wanyi grabbed Su Ming's hand and said in panic. With the exception of a few mental abilities, there are basically no means of attack before the fourth level, and most of the spiritual abilities are the development direction of interference assistance. Xiaopong's ability has reached level B, but it still can't change the fact that he has no attack power, so he only appears so flustered when he knows that there may be a battle. You have to know, if you continue to hold my hand, I may throw you out as a hidden weapon when the battle happens. Su Ming said with a black face. If one of the sisters of the Chu family hugged his hand, it would be reasonable. You, a fat man weighing more than 200 pounds, hugged me as soon as you came up. The result of restraint. Several students who came to report today, right? We have formed a club. I don't know if you are interested in joining us. It will be very convenient when doing tasks to grab resources in the future. Not long after, a boy in casual clothes blocked the way of a group of people. Everyone who had known him before naturally understood what he meant. Not interested, a good dog is out of the way, get out of the way. Bai Hao said coldly, although he is not the highest level in the team, but he thinks he is the strongest, how can he not show a wave in front of the woman he likes? Anyway, not joining any associations is a group of people who have discussed it long ago. Hehe, my classmates are a bit angry. You may not understand when you first came, but now there are already 6 clubs in the school. No matter what, you have to join the club. My club has just been established and there are not so many rules. You join now, but you are the founders. As he said that, there was a slight chill in the boy's hands. It was clearly August, but it made people feel a bit of coolness. What? Do you want to do it? Bai Hao was also not used to the other party, his body surface thundered away, and the crackling sound was continuous. Elemental lightning power. No wonder you speak so confidently, brother, I sincerely invite you to my club. When the boy saw this, he couldn't help but be a little surprised, and the imposing manner of the sword drawing immediately weakened a lot. Not interested, get out of the way if you don't want to do it, hurry up if you want to do it, we don't have time to spend here with you. Well said. This is the attitude that our lightning-type superpowers should have. Chen Zan, if you want to do it, do it. How come there are so many words? Before the previous boys could speak, another group of people came over, and the leader of them spoke loudly. Wang Can, you Thunder also want to accept him. Chen Zan's face changed slightly, and he couldn't help feeling a little annoyed. Nonsense, didn't you see the thunder on him? He was born to be our thunder. Wang Can said domineeringly. Purple thunder burst out from his body, full of power. Bai Hao's expression couldn't help but change. Seeing Wang Can's supernatural power, his face was horrified. His abilities were actually suppressed. This guy's lightning ability is A level. Student, do you feel it? I give you 2 choices, one is to join my Thunderbolt, and the other is to be suppressed by my ability and fight with me, otherwise you will never even think about going to the dormitory. Anyway, the school hasn't officially started yet, you can also hang out outside. Wang Can looked directly at Bai Hao. Obviously he didn't do anything, but Bai Hao couldn't help but take half a step back. Ha ha ha. Wang Can, I can give you this lightning element, but you can't grab the other ones. There are exactly 6 people, and our 6 clubs are divided equally. At this time, several other clubs also came here one after another, surrounded Su Ming and others from all directions, and it seemed that if they didn't choose a club to join, or didn't fight a game, the matter might not be over. It's over, it's over. There are so many people in the 6 clubs, how can we have a chance to resist? Xiaopong said with a mournful face. If it wasn't for Su Ming's bad eyesight, he might have hugged his hand again and cried for a while. Under such circumstances, Bai Hao's face showed a trace of hesitation, and when the Chu sisters saw that there were women's associations, they also had other thoughts in their eyes. Su Ming knew that the group formed temporarily by his own people might disintegrate. Hey, fatty, do you want to join the club? Looking at the expressions of other people, Su Ming asked Xiaopong in a low voice, if he said that he and Xiaopong were the only ones who didn't have any ideas. What do you call it? Of course I don't want to join, but is there a chance for us to choose in this situation? Look at the 4 of them, I'm afraid they are all looking for which club to join. Clubs do have great advantages in schools, but they also have disadvantages. There may be more people and more power, and you can get more resources on some occasions, but if you gain benefits in clubs, you must have something in return. For example, if there is a conflict between the clubs, the members of the club need someone to lead the task. All these need someone to do it, and all of them consume their own time. Xiaopong's idea of not wanting to join the club is very simple. He has mental abilities and needs more time to meditate. Time to take care of the community. As for Su Ming, let alone, the development of spatial abilities can only be done by himself, the acquisition of evolution points is to kill strange beasts, and the cultivation of qi and blood, he has the energy to start a club, find a club fighting is more or less the same. Don't stay too far away from me for a while, I don't care what they think, but since you don't want to join the club, I can still take you with me. Su Ming said calmly, turning his head just in time to see Bai Hao walking towards Wang Can. This was his choice. The sisters of the Chu family also hesitated for a moment and walked to the only women's club. For a while, only Su Ming was left in the 6-member team. Chapter 24. Shuiwei, you are not being kind. You agreed to have 1 person in each club, and you take away 2 at once. How do we divide the remaining 3? Seeing that 2 girls were snatched away, the remaining 4 clubs were not happy. If possible, who would not want to have an eye-catching girl in their club? It can also attract more people to participate in the formal registration, so there are many benefits. Ouyang Fu, if you have any objections, we can have a fight. Hearing this, Shuiwei said very forcefully. Hey, just kidding, I dare not fight with you. Ouyang Fu laughed dryly. Firstly, his ability was restrained by the opponent, and he would not get any benefits if he fought. As for joining the other 3 associations to exert pressure, that is also impossible. Maybe the other 3 guys are waiting for him to fight Shuiwei, and then exclude him. Hey, did we agree to join the club? Just treat us like cakes and distribute them, isn't it good? Su Ming, who has been silent all this time, said helplessly, do these people feel that they can handle themselves easily? Brother, I know that you are also a character in your own city, but don't forget, this is Shanghai University, and none of the people who can come here at this time is simple, so don't make the wrong choice, or the consequences will be severe. You can't take it. Chen Zan opened his mouth and said, the other 5 people also cast their gazes over. It seems that although these people are all robbing people, they are a united front on certain things, that is, people who come must choose a club to join. Whether you can bear it is not up to you, but to me. Anyway, I am not interested in clubs. I want to go to the dormitory now. If you want to stop me, you can try. Su Ming winked at Xiaopong, and walked forward without any hesitation. As for Zheng Yishan, this kid is very close to Bai Hao. Now that Bai Hao has joined Thunder, Su Ming is not sure what this guy thinks, so he didn't say much. What's more, he is only at the level of the 2nd level elementary level. Although the space ability is powerful, he can't take care of more people during the battle. Seeing that Su Ming didn't care about himself and the others at all, Chen Zan couldn't help being taken aback. It's really arrogant. Do you think we don't exist? Just leave if you want. Wang Can has a typical violent temper. Although the 3 of Su Ming and his Thunderbolt have nothing to do with him, but they are like this, obviously they are not giving themselves face. Immediately, a purple lightning struck at Su Ming and Xiaopong, making Xiaopong's face twitch. But when the lightning was about to fall on the two of them, they turned a corner inexplicably and struck at Chen Zan. FK. What are you doing, Wang Can? Chen Zan was so frightened that his hair stood on end. He quickly condensed a stream of ice in front of him, and the purple lightning disappeared as the ice shards flew. Although he was not injured, Chen Zan was frightened. His attention was on Su Ming. How could he have thought of this? Wang Can was also stunned for a while. He was clearly targeting that guy. How could he go to Chen Zan's side? Be careful. His ability level is second level, and it is an unknown type of ability. It may be the effect of his ability just now. Bai Hao hesitated for a moment. Now that he has joined Lei Ting, the connection with Su Ming and others will be broken, so there is no need to hide it for him. It's strange that we have to put us in the eye. It turns out that you are already a second tier, but even if you are a second tier, it is useless when you are surrounded by so many of us. Hearing that Su Ming's power level is the second level, everyone present was stunned for a moment. They always thought that they were the pride of heaven. No matter in terms of power strength or level, they were leaders among their peers. Someone is faster than yourself. Tier 2. I want to see how big the difference is between the first and second ranks. Yang Fu said something unconvinced, and a stream of water swirled around his body, shooting towards Su Ming like a sharp sword. The other people were not idle either. Lightning, ice arrows, and boulders swept in one after another, but without exception, when they were about to encounter Su Ming and the others, they suddenly shifted their direction and flew towards the 6 people who launched the attack. Go. The previous space distortion naturally couldn't achieve such an effect, but Su Ming's space control ability has broken through to the second level, which not only makes his control over space stronger, but also comes with a new attribute, Space Force Field. Of course, this force field is different from the power field of the 6th order power user, which is a field that is emitted by itself after the power reaches a certain level. The space force field is the repulsive force produced by different spaces opposing each other, just like stuffing a piece of tofu into another piece of tofu. In order to maintain the original state, the stuffed piece of tofu will itself generate a repulsive force against the foreign piece of tofu. The principle of the space force field is also the same. By creating an unstable subspace in the space, the mother space will actively crush the subspace to generate repulsive force in order to maintain its own stability. And when Su Ming places the subspace at the distortion point of the parent space, a force will be exerted on the space distortion. In the past, he could only change the trajectory, but under the action of repulsion, he can control the falling point of the changed trajectory, although not very precise, but probably within the right range. Facing such a situation, everyone was a little caught off guard and seemed a little flustered, but fortunately, they were also called geniuses, so they wouldn't be hurt by Su Ming's imprecise attack. What's the situation? What is the effect of this guy's ability? Could it be that elemental attacks have no effect on him? Seeing that Su Ming's footsteps did not stop because of the attacks of himself and others, the faces of the few people couldn't help but look a little ugly. After all, they are all geniuses. Although it's not that I can't accept the gap, but it's very bad to be inferior to the other party in such an unclear way. Boss is amazing. You are too strong, aren't you? The little fat man trembled with excitement, wanting to go up and hug Su Ming to vent, but he was afraid of being thrown out by the other party. Is there no way to track it? Then try this. Shui Wei's eyes froze, and suddenly Su Ming and the others felt a chill. Just as they were about to react, they found that the shoes had been connected to my ground, and the whole leg was covered with ice crystals. Good idea. But it still doesn't work for me. Su Ming turned his head and glanced at Shui Wei, and the 3 of them disappeared in the same place in an instant, and when they reappeared, they had already left their encirclement. Let's go here first today. I'll come back to settle accounts with you in a few days. It's not cheap to waste more than 10 minutes of my meditation time. Su Ming waved his hand without turning his head and said, he wasted so much time by being blocked on the road for no reason. Chapter 25. After a while, the 3 of Su Ming came to the dormitory area. Although Zheng Yishan was close to Bai Hao before, it was surprising that he followed Su Ming in that situation. So Su Ming also brought him out if he could help, but he didn't say anything along the way. Boss Su Ming, the dormitory area is here, but it seems that we are not in the same area. After scanning the school badge in front of an electronic screen, you can check the location of your dormitory. There are 5 areas in the dormitory of Modu University, of which the 2 areas in the southwest are where former students stayed, and the 2 areas in the northeast are for freshmen. After a year of study, most of the previous students not only studied in school, but also joined some organizations of the Alliance or joined the hunting team, so many of them simply moved out. In addition to the Sifang area, there is also a central area, which is full of single-family villas, which are not suitable for ordinary students to live in. They are either particularly rich or outstanding, anyway, they must have a special place. Apparently, Mr. Liu explained to the school that Su Ming's dormitory was in the central area. Although the research institute gave him a grade ability rating, there was a suspected S grade rating later on. What's more, the A-level ability is enough to live in the central area, but it's just on the edge. After all, even an A-level ability has future potential. Okay, then we'll separate here. Contact me if you have anything to do. Don't detain me if you have nothing to do. Su Ming pointed to the badge and said, and then walked towards the central area. The little fat man just wanted to say that it was special, but he consciously chose to shut up. Considering the toughness shown by Su Ming just now, it is only normal to enter the middle zone. You know, just now Su Ming didn't show any aggressiveness at all. He only used the supernatural power to make the people of the 6 clubs helpless, and his supernatural power level reached the 2nd level. Besides, Xiaopong knows that Su Ming's ability has an attack attribute, but he was completely useless just now. What does this mean? This shows that the boss was not serious at all just now. Use the badge to open the door of the villa. The layout inside is very simple. There are 2 floors. Just by looking at the number of rooms on the 1st floor, you can tell that the supporting facilities inside must be very complete. The size of the villa is small, and the school will not build so many rooms in the limited space for no reason, but this situation still occurs, which shows that these rooms are necessary. It is not difficult to guess that these rooms must be equipped with facilities to assist cultivation and improvement. I really don't know how big the campus of Shanghai University is. A central area is almost comparable to a large community, and there are 4 such areas, as well as a series of facilities such as teaching buildings. Walking to the window and seeing the area of the villa area, Su Ming couldn't help sighing. If there were no strange beasts, this situation would never have happened. Soon, Su Ming found the manual of the villa in the school badge, and then came to a room. It is said that the walls here are made of alien metal, which can withstand strong supernatural impact. It is a special room for the development of combat skills, but I don't know if it can resist my spatial supernatural power. Su Ming said with some concern that the quiet room in the research institute was also specially made, but under his own combat skills, there were no scum left. It's better to absorb this power stone first, and stabilize the realm. He took out the power stone that Yang Mei gave him, and now the stone is very muddy, without the slightest crystal clear feeling. And with Su Ming's absorption again, the whole stone became no different from quartz stone, and finally turned into powder and scattered. Name: Su Ming. Level: 2nd level primary ability user, 2nd level primary practitioner. Ability: Space Control. Skills: Mental Perception, Space Blade, Space Distortion, Space Imprisonment, Dimension Smash. Evolution points: 80. Although the realm has not improved, it is a fact that the ability has increased a little bit. There is nothing to entangle the relationship between quantitative change and qualitative change. Among the 4 combat skills he has, the first 4 are already very proficient. Even if the space distortion has changed due to the space force field, Su Ming can still master it. Only the last dimension smash, the new combat technique developed after breaking through the 2nd order ability, he can't release at will. As mentioned earlier, the space force field is generated by the mutual repulsion of 2 spaces, and the shattering of dimensions is developed based on this principle. The so-called dimension is an independent space. As the name suggests, dimensional shattering is to completely destroy this independent space, and the effect is that the things that exist in this independent space will also be torn together with the shattering of this space, or they will be exiled. There is no doubt about its power, but it is precisely because of this that it is difficult to control. The first is the creation of an independent space. The mother space will be squeezed, and there is also a strong requirement for the control of supernatural powers. Su Ming was able to create an independent space for storage because of luck. In addition, if it is a combat technique, This independent space cannot only carry objects, if it cannot carry living things, then this combat technique has no meaning at all. You can't use Dimension Smash to mine. That's not as cost-effective as a cultivator using a knife. But no matter whether it is a supernatural being or a strange beast, they all have energy. The stronger the energy, the higher the strength to the space. Only when they are placed in an independent space, can the shattering effect be applied to them. After hesitating for a moment, a silver streamer appeared in front of Su Ming, which looked very beautiful, but also full of danger. These silver lights are the embodiment of the collision of space walls, comparable to space blades. Once touched, the end will be like the quiet room of the Research Institute, cut infinitely by space collisions, and then disappear with the disappearance of the dimension, leaving nothing left. Of course, it depends on the strength of the touching object. If it is a high-level superhuman or a high-level beast, before approaching, its own stability to space can annihilate such a space collision, unless Su Ming made this the dimension can be stronger. Damn. The surrounding space is under my control. I didn't expect such rejection. The rejection of space is really strong. Veins popped out of Su Ming's forehead. Not only did he need to stabilize the large space under his control, but he also had to create dimensions, which put a lot of load on him. Damn it. I can't bear it anymore. Space shift. The next moment, the dimension became extremely unstable. Su Ming, who had tried it once, naturally knew what was going on, and moved it out for himself without saying a word. Then the whole villa started to collapse. Dust was flying. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.